The most important thing when you're trying to support somebody through loss is just to open up lines of communication. Maybe make an opening statement showing compassion. Gosh, I'm so sorry that you lost your friend. Something like that, just to kind of connect and open up those lines of communication. Some kids have a really hard time talking about these things. So you could even use creative expression. Some kids would rather write about it or draw about it. Sometimes if you share experiences from your own life of loss, sadness, anger, it just helps validate where that kiddo is emotionally and might help them open up about talking about things. The other thing that I think is really important is to talk about the facts just by being open and honest. The kids are going to hear about what happened regardless, so it's important that they hear it from a trusted individual. It's best to start the conversation by maybe offering a statement of support, but also just be ready to listen. I think by asking a few questions to get the conversation started is important, but then they might be able to open up about their feelings, be patient, validate their feelings, normalize their feelings, especially those ones about sadness, frustration, fear, and anger, and just sit and listen and provide support. So, a lot of kids react with sadness after somebody dies. That's totally normal. A lot of kids may be down for weeks, maybe a month or two, especially around dates that might remind them of this friend, a birthday, something that is just kind of triggering with regard to memory. What you really want to look out for is if these periods of sadness are prolonged and start to impact this kiddo's life. So, things to look for would be loss of interest in things that they used to enjoy. They're not sleeping well at night. They're not as active or they're not eating well. They're withdrawing from you and being more isolated. A lot of kids also will stop going to school or you'll see a decline in the function at school. Another big warning sign is if kids start to talk about wanting to join that person, that dead individual. So those are some warning signs. And if you're seeing those things, it's best to reach out to a mental health professional. I know a lot of the local schools have wonderful resources right in the school building. You can also reach out to other people in the community, such as primary care doctors or other mental health professionals that might be available to your child. I think it's very normal that there will be things that remind your child of their friend who died. And I would just ask how they're doing. It's good to tell stories, to remember. Maybe there are certain trinkets that that kid has that reminds them. I think that's really supportive and validating for that kid. So don't try to ignore it or push it to the side, but rather just embrace it and support your child through that time.